at it with the Mini again. Posted a few things about working on it, and so today I'm actually going to show you a little. The alternator's gone bad in this one. Battery's dead on it, so the suspect is that the alternator isn't charging the battery anymore. So what we're going to do is kind of go through the steps to replace the alternator. Some of the work's already been done to get to it. Over here is the bumper and the sub bumper frame that has to be taken off. What's left here in the front is the radiator assembly with the intercooler in front, or the oil cooler. So to get those off, all we gotta do is take these two bolts off the side of the cooler here. And there's another bolt that's right up here, but I went ahead and took that out, took the bracket out, and got the fan assembly, or the fan wiring harness, taken out and unplugged. Once you get that unplugged though, and all the bolts taken out of the side, this will just lift up and kind of slides underneath a little to get it out of the way. And then once that's out of the way, the manual will tell you that these little tubes here, the crash tubes, need to come out, but that requires raising the car up, getting underneath it, and also there's a little bit of a lining that you have to do for the bumper when you put them back in. So I've actually discovered that this whole bit will kind of just wiggle out and give you just enough room to be able to work. So as you can see, it's kind of pulled out just enough. And then here's our alternator right there. So there's top bolt, two on the bottom, which should be pretty easy to get to. A couple of wires here on the back. May have to feel for those, but overall shouldn't be too terrible. If it turns out to be too difficult to do like this, we can take our upper and lower radiator hose down there off, and that way we can pull this whole assembly out and we'll have more clearance. On top of that, of course, we'll have to break the serpentine belt, which is done with a little tool, hooks onto this bolt here, and then there's two holes back on the idler, or on the tensioner, that it'll kind of lock into, and you can pull it back and break the tension on the belt. So we've got the front of the car kind of in position here to start our work. So what we're going to need to do at this point is break the tension on the belt. We're going to do it with this little guy here. And what this does is it's got a little opening right here that's going to set on this bolt right here, and it's going to lock in at the back. And then, can't really see it, I'm sure, but there's a little piece back here that we're going to use this pin to kind of lock it into place so that we can keep the tension off of the belt while we're doing our work. Now, I will say that of everything with this car, this is probably my least favorite bit. Alright, so with a lot of wiggling and doing, we finally got this thing locked in there. I'm going to see if we can break the tension on it a little bit. It's going to take some dexterity to do. So, doing this by yourself does not come highly recommended. so it took a little doing, but there's the pin right there, right here, holding the tension off the belt. It didn't, not really a one-man job, but made it work. So now we should have plenty of slack in the belt right here to kind of slip it off. The main thing though that I'm really aiming for, let me get the tool out of the way here, is that we're really trying to make sure that the belt stays on the supercharger here, because that could mean a big pain for rerouting. So I'm trying to keep as much of the belt on the pulleys as possible here. But now that's done, I think we should be in pretty good shape to start taking things out. And the battery's already disconnected, so we should be able to get started. So I'm just going to grab a socket here. See, these would help if they're going the right way. There we go. And this slicky belt off here before I forget. And I'm going to have to try something else. And for these bottom two, just a regular socket should work. Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to break those loose for now, because I still need to get the wiring out of the back here. It should be just a little simple squeeze and pull. Maybe a little wiggling. There we go. That'll come out like that. And we got another little deal back there we're going to have to figure out how I'm going to get to it. With any luck, when we do put the new one in, it won't be quite this difficult. So, having a little trouble getting to those wires in the back. So, I'm going to see if I can kind of ease the alternator out a little bit so I can gain access to the wiring harness on the back. That's not looking like it. Well, I say that. There we go. Having to kind of inch it out this way, but it's coming. Now, be able to loosen it the rest of the way by hand. Alright, so that's out. All the wires going to it are now off. these bolts out. Alright, now let's see if we can wiggle it out one way or another. Doesn't look like it's going to come out very easily. At least not this way. Let's see if we can make a little bit of room for it to come out. There we go. Alright. A lot of wiggling, a lot of, well, not as much cussing as I thought. But, there she is. So tomorrow when the new alternator comes in, we'll see what it's like putting it back in.